Hey everybody! Welcome back to Big Hair Gaming. We're here with another video covering our favorite game, Last War. And today I've got a special one for you, a request video. A while back, some folks asked if I could do like a simple do's and don'ts style video. So in our last video, we did 5 habits to get into for long-term growth. And this is going to be 4 big mistakes to avoid in our favorite game, Last War. So let's jump on right in. So big mistake number 1 is going to be leveling your whole base evenly. Now I understand how some folks get into the habit, especially for the first 10 levels or so. It's not too big of a resource commitment to keep all of your buildings topped off. But as you get closer to your early to mid 20s, this is going to become a lot harder because you'll gain access to more buildings, which will increase the amount of resources that you need to bring everything up to its max level. Now, I won't tell you not to play this way at all. If you're doing it just because it's fun and it's how you like to play, then do what makes you happy. We're playing a game, and what's optimal isn't always what's the most fun. But if you're doing it because you want to become more powerful, then I have to tell you that it's just simply not an effective strategy. What I do recommend instead is looking at the upgrade sheet for each level. A number of different folks online have put together their own versions of these, and I'll just grab one and throw it on the screen. And basically what this shows is that the building requirements for each level, so that you can prioritize capping those off at max level instead. Now, these are going to recur at multiple different levels, so you can see the same kinds of buildings will come up multiple times. So keeping those close to your headquarters level will be very helpful. And then getting each headquarters level increase is going to increase your max level for your squads and thus increase your overall potential power. Now, before we keep going on, I just want to take a quick moment to say that if you're enjoying the video, feel free to like it and drop a comment down below. Even if it's simply thanks for the video, because all the engagement does help the channel grow. If you're new, feel free to subscribe, as I've got a whole bunch of tutorials, guides, and explanations on gameplay mechanics, heroes, and strategies to succeed. Lastly, I want to mention that I do have channel memberships. So if you really want to support the channel and you're liking the stuff that I'm putting out, you can do that. You'll get a cool flare next to your name in the comments. You'll get member shoutouts at the end of videos, as well as being able to join in on some live streams, recordings for battles and events. So if you're interested, hit the join button down below. But with that, let's get back to it. Now we're going to move along to mistake number 2, which is going to be immediately spamming VS objectives when they become available. So what a lot of people do right after reset is immediately do all of their point generating actions for the Alliance duel. This is upgrading heroes, conducting research, working on building construction, for example. For your alliance duel, this is absolutely great. Like if you're doing this, your alliance is likely glad to have you as a contributor, but you're missing out on what you can get for yourself. What you do want to do is you want to align your alliance duel objectives with your arms race objectives. So now, basically, the way that this works is that every day there's a slice of time where the goals for the arms race are going to synchronize with your alliance duels goals, and this is the time to do all of your tasks. You take a look at this calendar here, and you can see what the breakdown is time-wise for each of those time slices, and then you can compare that against the alliance duel calendar of what thing is the goal for each day, and then try to match that time slice of the day with that other daily objective. When you're still on your way to level 30, this is easy daily resources. When I was in my levels from like early to mid 20s, practically no one has the patience or awareness to overlap these tasks. And I was getting an extra hero shard, epic decoration box, and a bunch of extra resources every single day. I will say that as you get closer and closer to level 30, like this is where most of the tryhards are going to be. And by tryhards, I mean like these are the folks who are putting in big numbers to make sure that they're the ones who get the top prizes of each day. So enjoy it while you can, because you're going to find that once you hit like level 29, level 30, you're going to start winning a lot less frequently. Where before, maybe when I was level 25, I would win almost every single day. Now that I'm at level 30, maybe I'll win maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week if I'm really pushing it. So take advantage of that time when you can easily win just by choosing the right moment to strike. Moving along to big mistake number 3, it's going to be boosting your in-base resource generators too high too soon. Now, this does kind of relate to the first point of leveling your base evenly, but this is a little bit more specific for folks who have maybe gotten out of that habit but are still putting a little bit too much of an investment into your resource generators for too long, too early on. But let's get into this one. Now, I will say that you do want to keep your resource generators close to your headquarters level to make sure that you're getting some good resources. So don't let them fall too far behind. However, as you get closer and closer to your early to mid 20s, this isn't as valuable, and I'll talk about what to do instead. The experience that I had was that around level 25 or so, I was thinking that in order to keep up with the increased resource demand that I was seeing, that I would keep upgrading my resource generators. But what I found was that I was spending the very resources that I needed in order to boost my required buildings for my next headquarters. So I decided to, around then, leave my resource buildings where they were, around level 24, level 25, and primarily focus on the next things that I needed to get my next headquarters. I will say as a bonus that you do eventually want to loop back around and boost up your buildings that have the best survivors. The reason being that a lot of the resources that you can get from the engineer skill, rapid production, depends on your total output, which can give you some extremely good payouts, especially if you're in Season 2 and you grab a heat boost as well. And so this will bring us to our last mistake to avoid, which is not utilizing your best team for code monsters. So when you look at each code monster, each one will have a specific vehicle type that they're weak against. For example, this one is weak against air teams. So you might assume that this means that you should always attack with your air teams for this monster. Well, not exactly. So up here, we can compare my recent attacks that I've done, one with my air team and one with my tank team. And you'll see that my air team I've only done 1.3 billion damage, even with a 50% damage increase for air heroes, while with my tank team, I've done 2.1 billion damage. Now, this is just my configuration. For me, my tank team is still quite a bit stronger than my air team. And for anybody else who's also primarily using a tank team, we have an additional ace in the hole over both air and missile teams. And this is going to be utilizing Mason as a part of your tank team to dramatically increase your overall damage. Now, if you're like me, when you switch over to Mason, it's going to cause a slight drop in your squad power, but that doesn't really matter because of Mason's special ability. He has the ability to boost tank heroes on the back line against monsters. I'm going to say it again because I always do get comments about it, but it's only for tanks, only on the back line, and only against monsters. That is his secret power that's going to give you a tremendous damage boost. Now, this is going to be especially helpful when you're doing these code battles because this is going to give you the damage boost that you'll likely need to grab your first set of mythic blueprints. Now, I've already grabbed mine, but I believe the requirement is that you need to deal 2 billion damage the first time against one of the particular code monsters. And with that, that'll give you your first set of mythic blueprints. Now, you need 10 in order to build your first mythic piece of gear, but you get 10. So this basically gives you your first mythic piece of gear. And as you can see, there's the opportunity for you to get some more later as well. Now, there's another piece of information that I do not yet have confirmation on of whether or not it's worth it or not, but the air hero Sarah also has a skill that boosts damage against monsters for the rear 3 heroes. But I'm still in the middle of investigating and trying to determine if this has any real value for trying to boost the power of either your missile team or your air team in a similar fashion the way that Mason does. One of the drawbacks for Sarah is that hers is her ultimate ability, so it's not something that's constantly engaged like Mason's is. That's part of the reason that makes him such a big powerhouse. but I'm still in the middle of investigating it. If you utilize Sarah on one of your teams to get to great effect and get like big damage out of it, feel free to drop a comment down below so the rest of us can learn as well, and we can make adjustments for our team to grow that much more powerful. And yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of our video for today. If you found this video helpful, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with your alliance mates, because who else is going to enjoy Last War content other than the folks who were playing Last War? But hopefully, they'll find some good stuff that's helpful to them specifically and gives them some good ideas. I also want to thank our channel membership subscribers. Your monthly contributions help me continue to do these cool videos and do longer content and all that sorts of stuff. And I do really appreciate it. I'm glad to have you here. But yeah, if you want to join the channel membership, feel free to hit the join button down below. And if you've made it this far in the video and you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. Try it out. I've got a lot of good stuff for you. But yeah, I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.